Yeah, so my experience was all my degrees were very, very theoretical, so I haven't used anything practical out of them, apart from the fact that it developed my brain to think very, very quickly and learn very, very quickly. When I started a job, I was told I have completely no soft skills. I'm absolutely horrible on speaking to people, managing managers, etc., etc. So that was what I spent most of my time figuring out. I didn't have a problem with the, like problem thinking and the actual job, but I had a big problem with the soft skills at the time, which I had to very quickly learn.
Thanks, Alina. Anna?
I would say, if I was to split up the almost like the usefulness of my degree, I would say 85% of it was helping me with my research, and the last 15% was almost like a turbo booster to get me onto board level, because the degree that I did and the institution that I did it at was, although it was like maths, physics and computer science, although there was a lot of theory, they really pushed down on the soft and transferable skills, because they knew that a lot of technical degrees tend not to cover this well. And I've also seen it hiring candidates. You see candidates with really theoretical degrees who can't really communicate to stakeholders, shareholders. So I would say it was very useful, my degree. Like, I don't think I would be on the board and at sea as a CEO without it, but I wouldn't say it was the actual degree. It was the soft skills that almost developed through my degree that helped me get to where I am, and I'm very thankful. So in a nutshell, I don't feel that you do need a degree, but it can add a bit of propellant, if you would call it that, to get you to those higher echelons of management.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Thanks, Anna. Sorry.
Paul, yeah, sure. I was going to say that without having the degree in technology, and I've held some very senior roles in some very high-profile companies across the world. It's been my network. That's the reason why the companies have wanted me there, is for the people that I know. And I always pride myself that whenever I get asked a question that I don't know the answer on, especially technical ones, I always know the right people to turn to. And so I think that's a key asset to have about the personal side of things. And it's not all about technology and being code and stuff like that. And we need people like that into training stuff, but there's also very much the personal side of things as well, and being able to build relationships and build networks and build up that trust with everybody, that you can sort of lean on them to help accelerate what you're trying to achieve as well.
One of the things that I'd also add to that, and I'm sure y'all have some of the same groups in the area. So the ISSA, is a security organization that's international. I would hope they would have some meetings there in London or throughout the UK. Also, ISC Squared. I've got my ISC Squared shirt on. I'm a CISSP. Get with their international chapters and go to chapter meetings for both of those organizations, and any of the local meetups and stuff that you can do, whether they're virtually now during the pandemic or later when we go ahead and start meeting in person again. That networking that Paul was talking about is very, very important, and it is very much so here in San Antonio as well. The organizations, it's interesting when they all get together and you see people from the local municipalities, the local governmental organizations, the military, and all the commercial sector all kind of get together and discuss some of the problems and things that they're trying to solve. So it's a great way to learn, network, great way to get to the soft skills that we're talking about here.
Thanks, Paul. Emma, your hand's up, and then we'll just wrap up and start taking questions from the audience.
Yes, just one quick thought, I think, to add to it. And I guess we're talking and we're making an assumption in the way that we're talking, I think, that we're on about a degree as an 18-year-old and going straight into, straight from school, go do a degree. But Paul, particularly it made me think of it when you're on about when you're wanting to rise up through the ranks, or people with board level skills, and when are they going to be relevant. But actually no one's going to leave university and go straight into a role as a CIO or as a COO, and that doesn't actually become relevant for probably another 20 years after that. So I think there's an awful lot of value in continuing education and thinking about like a master's. I know, Dimple, you say you did a master's when you as a mature student, and actually having the skills skills you need at the time that they're going to be relevant is probably what's most valuable. You know, because you did a degree 20 years ago doesn't mean you're going to be a great COO, but to have had lots of experience and to have seen lots of the world and then go and solidify some of those skills and help you into the boardroom, I can totally see value in that.
I agree. I think it's, just to kind of summarize, it's about those softer skills, about how we can problem solve and really bring all of the things we learn into practice, really. And I think the other big piece, I think with Paul, I agree, is the network, because it's really key. It's good to have those relationships that you build with people in the communities that you want to work in, and sort of going, have people mentor you, or, if you want to work in data, there are lots of people who will mentor you, or if you want to work in DevOps, and we're seeing a lot of that, through some of the programs we run, because we do have, experts who come and mentor, our trainers, our TAs, and some of our students. And I think that becomes really, again, a key piece that, how do you sort of build those networks, those communities?